Hello everyone, bit of an odd start to the video considering the title of the video and the thumbnail. I am currently in my living room, but just a quick little update, an unfortunate one at that as well. The kit you're about to see is actually stolen now, so as of a few days ago, someone helped themselves to a load of my fishing kit, including this, and stacks more. A full list of everything that's been stolen of mine is on my personal Instagram on Nothing But Fishing, so do have a look over there, and if you see any of the stuff in that list going for cheap, it seems a bit dodgy, you know anything about it, please do get in contact with me. So yes, this would have been, and hopefully will be again in the future, my go-to setup. So I hope you enjoy the video, and hopefully I get a load of my kit back too. Here at CARPology, we have the massive privilege of testing all the latest and greatest kit from all different companies. But what that does mean is that we very rarely actually get to use our own dedicated kit, the stuff that we actually opt to use when we go fishing by ourselves, that we've maybe had for years or been able to keep our hands on over the years of doing these videos. And that's exactly what this video is going to be about, running through the setup that I use if I'm going fishing and I'm not having to film any of this stuff. This is what I'll go fishing with. Luke's already done his version of this. If you want to check out that, check the link in the description below where he runs through all of his rods, reels, alarms and things like that of what he takes when he does some personal fishing. But today I've come out filming actually a tracker bed chair is what I've been filming today, and I've been filming that all over there behind the camera. But I got the rods out first of all, and I have actually managed to have one already. So that was good fun, and that's one of the perks of filming things that aren't rod and reel related, is that I do try and get the rods out, have them in the background, and if I catch something, it's a bonus. But to run you through the setup from start to finish that you're seeing right here. Firstly, we have the rods. Now these are 9-foot dwarf 3-pound rods. Now I did used to have 9-foot 3.5-pound scopes. Now you may think, why on earth would you move from scopes back to dwarfs? But the reason for that is that I love the scopes and they were great rods, really accurate, but for venues like this, which is where I do quite a lot of my filming for work, because it's nice and local to me, it's a good chance of a bite if I put the rods out and add a little bonus fish. The 3.5-pound test curve 9-footers were just a bit too pokey for the sort of fish I was fishing for here. And yes, I could have used them for a bit more, but I just thought I'm not enjoying the playing of the fights as much as I think I would if I was having a lighter action rod. I do have some 12-foot 3.25. Again, I like them, but I wouldn't bring them here because it's quite a small venue. I don't need them. And I've got some customs now as well, which are 13-foot 3.5s. So those are what I'd use if I was going on a bigger water. But for the most part, I fish with 9-footers, love the play and action of them. So I went down to dwarfs. And why did I go from scopes to dwarfs as well? That was purely a monetary thing. For the sort of fishing I'm doing, I'm not going big distances. I'm fishing little venues like this, something I can just chuck in the car, have good fun with, and not worry too much about the value of these rods, and they do everything I need them to. So these are the 9-foot 3-pound cork handles, and I absolutely love them. I've had a fish today, as I said, and I've caught so many fish on these. That's good size as well, so it's not that they aren't up to the job of catching bigger fish. I think I've had fish for over 30 pound on these so far, but if not, even fish smaller than that, they still put up a good fight. It's a lovely progressive playing action, and even in close quarters, this lake is notorious. But when you hook them, they come in quite easy and then they shoot up and down the margins. You might be able to see behind me, it's quite tree lined around a lot of this lake, and those branches go out quite far. So it's close quarters fishing, and sometimes a longer rod might be a bit too cumbersome. So having these rods, perfect balance, being able to play them in close. And so that's why I've opted for those. The reels, however, they have been the same, whether it's been scopes or these dwarfs now, for I'd say a good 5 years or so now. So I've had these for ages. These are the Shimano Ultegra XTD 5500s, and these just haven't faulted me. In all the years of using them, I've changed the line a few times, of course. I've never given them a maintenance, probably should by now. So they've been caked in mud. I'm at the moment not even using backrest. When it rains and things, mud's getting kicked up on there. I give them the preliminary rinse. When I re-spool them, I give them a little bit of a clean, but they've never been taken apart to have a look at the internals of them, and they still cast just as well. The clutch is just as smooth as they were on day one, bring fish in just as good as they were when they first came out. They've got a lovely little line clip on them. It's a nice soft sort of line friendly line clip, so if I am hitting these rods quite hard, like today I'm fishing across to the far snags, I'm hitting the clip quite hard and cushioning it in and making sure I'm nice and tight to those snags, and so it's completely line friendly. I had no issues with that whatsoever. And while we're on the subject of reels as well, and we'll talk about the line that's on them. This is the Avid Outline Camo. Ever since I've done the video on that, it's been my go-to line. It's cast really well. It's got a lovely camo flector all the way through, and I've just found it's such a silky smooth finish to it that it casts well, and when you're getting fish sort of taking line, it slides through the eyes really smoothly as well. So all round, lovely line, casts well and sinks well, and I've just never had any issues with them. So that's rods and reels. Moving on to the crossbars, the uprights and the alarms. This is actually the OMC elbows, so whether you've gone for the more modern iteration of the elbows, which is through OMC, or previously it was, oh, I'm going to lose my train of thought now. I know they aren't originally OMC basically, but they're now distributed by them. And these are the black version. I think this is the standard. So you've got a narrow, a standard, which is like this, and then the wide. So if you want even wider than this is ideal for me. So whether I'm using my scope setup like I am today, I've just brought the outside alarms in ever so slightly. If I'm using my a 3-rod setup, I can space them out, and if I want to move these onto a bank stick, they move really quickly. I've done a video on these before, so if you want to check out that, again, look in the link in the description of the OMC elbows. So really nice and solid. I just love how adjustable they are, and not just adjustable minutely, they have their own little drilled holes, which means that I've made sure there's 6 holes between the right and the left of the alarm, so I know they're exactly the same distance apart if you want to be targeted like that, but they're solid as well. Then moving on to alarms. These are Nash Siren R4s, and I've been a Nash Siren user for years, since before CARPology as well. So going back probably 10 years plus, I've always used sirens. I think the first alarms I ever bought that were Nash, after having, I think they were Witchwood Rage VTs at the time. I moved on to Nash Sirens. Here comes the rain again, lovely. And I think they were Siren S5s. They had one dial on them, and it was on and volume, and that was all it was. There was a little click to turn them on, and it was volume. And I absolutely love them. I think they genuinely are still in my shed. Probably not on the original batteries, but they still work. Every now and then when I'm having a shed sort, a shed sort, I come across them, turn the little dial, and they still work. And that nostalgic feeling, thinking, oh, the amount of fish I used to catch on those alarms, and they're still working. I actually think I might have them on a pike setup now. So they're still going strong. On from there, I had the R3s, which I absolutely loved for many, many years. Iconic sound still. And now I just got the R4s, just because natural progression. I've gone through to the most latest iteration, or I think there's now an R4 Plus. I should know this. I'm in the industry, I should know, but I'm pretty sure there's a R4 Plus or something now. If not, ignore that. But those are the alarms I opt for. They do everything they need them to. You've got the forward take and the drop back differentiation, which is different to what the R3s had. That's one of the main reasons I like these. I can tell when I'm getting forward take or drop back. And then the last thing you'll notice is the bobbins. These are the Solar P1 bobbins, I believe they are. And I've got the chains with the like carbon fiber looking finish, white, and then they're metal clips on the very top. Now, I love the look of these. They're smart, and they're gonna last years and years, because there's not really much plastic on them at all, so they should last forever. And the noise they make when you get a take and they hit the blank, I've had a few takes recently where one of them in particular was so violent, I think I heard the crack on the blank louder than the alarm at one point. So love those bobbins, and of course if I wanted to I can switch them over to swinger arms if I'd rather, but for the most part that's what stays in there. And the last thing you note in the middle is the bite alarm covers. These are the Witchwood tactical bite alarm covers. I think these are the standard size. There's a larger one as well. But if you're looking at getting these, this is the standard size, and it does fit over an R4. And then the hanger just fits on the side here on this little elastic thing. So that keeps it nice and neat when they're in transit. So that is pretty much my go-to setup. I could talk for hours on end about all the other things I bring with me, but if I'm going fishing for myself or checking out my personal setup when I'm filming some other stuff on the bank, this is my go-to. So if you want to see Luke's version of this video, as I've mentioned, check the link in the description below and go check out his stuff. He does talk about his Neville alarms, I think. Yeah, I've never seen them go off with a fish. They've only ever been demonstration purposes, where as at least mine get some use. But I'm just going to leave that there because I know Luke's editing this video, so enjoy that, Luke. See you again soon, guys, and cheers for watching. I've got to try and get up now. Oh, I just thought, if Luke's editing this, he's going to leave this in as well, isn't he? Oh. Old man gets up.